My husband asked for a trial separation to live with his secretary. Now he's begging after she cleaned out his bank account. I've been married to David for 15 years. He's a successful accountant who owns his own firm, and I'm a teacher. We have 2 teenage kids and what I thought was a solid marriage. 6 months ago, David hired a new secretary named Melissa. She's 28, blonde, and everything I'm apparently not anymore according to my husband. David started working late constantly and being secretive with his phone. When I confronted him, he got defensive and accused me of being paranoid. The final straw came when I found hotel receipts in his car. When I showed them to him, instead of apologizing, he had the audacity to say he wanted a trial separation to figure things out. He moved in with Melissa that same week, claiming they needed to explore their connection and that I should respect his journey of self-discovery. He took half our savings and opened a new account that Melissa had access to for emergencies. I was devastated but hired a lawyer immediately. What David didn't know was that Melissa had a history. My sister-in-law did some digging and found out Melissa had pulled this exact scheme with 2 other married bosses in different cities. She'd seduce them, get access to their finances, then disappear. But David was so smitten he wouldn't listen to anyone. During our separation, David flaunted Melissa everywhere. He bought her expensive jewelry, took her on weekend trips, and even bought her a new car. Meanwhile, he was stingy with child support, claiming his expenses had increased. He actually told our kids that sometimes adults need to follow their hearts. 3 months into their love nest, I got a panicked call from David at 2 a.m. He was sobbing hysterically, saying Melissa had disappeared and taken everything. Apparently, she'd been gradually transferring money from his accounts to offshore accounts. She cleaned out his business account, personal savings, and even maxed out credit cards he didn't know she had access to. The best part? She left him a note saying, "Thanks for the financial security, honey. Don't feel bad. You're just not husband material." She'd literally used his own breakup line against him. David begged me to take him back, saying it was all a midlife crisis mistake and that he'd learned his lesson. He wanted to move back home and rebuild our family. I told him he could rebuild his life from his empty apartment since I'd already filed for divorce. My lawyer had been busy during those 3 months. Since David had willingly moved out and abandoned the family home, I got to keep it. His affair gave me leverage for a better custody arrangement and alimony. The money he'd stolen from our joint account, that became evidence of financial irresponsibility that worked in my favor. Yesterday, David showed up at my door crying, saying he'd lost everything and had nowhere to go. He'd been evicted from the apartment he shared with Melissa, and his business was struggling because she'd also stolen client information. He actually asked if he could sleep on our couch for old time's sake. I told him he should have thought about that before he decided to explore his connection with a con artist. Our 16-year-old son, who'd lost all respect for his father, told him to leave and never come back. Update: David's been posting on social media about learning from mistakes and the importance of family. Several people have commented asking about Melissa, and he's deleting those comments frantically. My kids are thriving without his drama, and I'm finally free from someone who valued me so little he threw away 15 years for a scammer half his age.